Oh my goodness, I am so excited. I love doing a live show. What's really exciting about a live show is that you know that we are just being our most authentic self. And what I love about Bigger Than Me is I am 100% on purpose. And by that, I mean I'm doing exactly what I was meant to do. Bigger Than Me has a very simple mission. I say we use technology, community, and positive psychology to help good people do great things. We do very simple, three simple things. We tell stories, we share wisdom, we elevate expectations. And today we're going to elevate your expectations on a very interesting topic. You know, this came up because of what's happening in the world today. So we're going to talk about how to become visible, how to stop corporate chokeholds. And I created that term, corporate chokeholds, as I watched the murder of George Floyd. And I thought, wow, and as this whole episode evolved, I thought, we've done a lot of research around what we call key challenges in corporate America, things that we know are barriers to advancement, barriers to success that cause trauma, these things that are experienced as injustices, and they happen every day, over and over and over. And what I think is most important is for us to have a real conversation about those things and acknowledge them for really what they are. They're corporate chokeholds. And we have executives that talk about the desire to have a diverse and inclusive environment where everyone can thrive. And honestly, I believe that that is the case. And so, what we're going to do, we just started this amazing Bigger Than Me success series. Because what I realized, I was put on this earth to help people to be successful. And when I say successful, I mean successful in whatever they want to accomplish. And right now, there's a lot of individuals in America and around the world who want to understand this racial equity situation. And we're going to help you with that. And so today I have six amazing guests. Um, and we're going to talk about the truth about corporate chokeholds. The chokeholds are unconscious bias, again, unequal performance standards, similarity bias, and something that's called CEO, the lack of CEO accountability. There's a think tank that's on the National Black MBA Association's website. If you want to get details on the think tank, the research, etc. So this is going to be our baseline. But today we're going to talk to real people about their experiences. So I'm going to go ahead and ask our guests to introduce themselves. I'm going to start with Miss Erin Jones. And the first question is, since this is a Bigger Than Me success series, we want to really start with what does success look like? Meaning, we're going to talk about diversity and inclusion. What does that look like to you? What does success look like to you? What would you like to see as it relates to equity and justice? Miss Erin.
So, so my name is Erin Jones, and I am a 30-year veteran educator. I also was the oldest woman at WNBA at 20 years old. So I've tried out for 2 WNBA teams. I've been our state's Milken Educator of the Year. I was the first Black woman in the state of Washington to run for a state office. I lost that by 1 percentage point. So on the kind of on how most people measure success, I've had a lot of success in my life. But as an educator, when I think about what success looks like, I think it has to be more than about money. I think we have focused success even in school spaces and education spaces around money for children, thinking about getting educated to get a job, to become middle class or upper middle class, become a lawyer, doctor. Like we have these levels of expectation to get certain test scores. That's success. For in the teaching force and the adult side of it, we've said success is becoming a principal, becoming an administrator, becoming a superintendent. I actually want to push back against those notions of success. I believe when I talk about racial equity, and that's what I do now, I've been a trainer in racial equity for the last 3 or 4 years. So I do half-time work with educators around racial equity, and then half-time work speaking to students about my own personal story. I really want to challenge the notion of equity being, how do we help every person in this country thrive? And what thriving looks like for you may be very different from what it looks like for me. So when students ask me all the time, I've been honored by President Obama at the White House. I've gotten to meet Magic Johnson. I've played basketball with Dr. J. And students ask me all the time, wow, what's your greatest success? And I tell them all the time, I haven't experienced it yet.
Mm, I
I
love
am
it.
striving to be a better version of me tomorrow or today than I was yesterday. I want to strive to be better tomorrow than I am today. And so success for me is not about position, it's not about power, it's not about money. It's about how do I show up in the world and make a bigger impact.
I
And
love
what
it.
that means for me is that I gotta do something in my spirit, soul, mind, body, all of that to become better in all of those areas all the time. And I just turned 49 last week on Wednesday. And my goal before my 49th birthday was to run less than 9-minute miles. As a woman at 49 years old, I wanted to, and I did. I actually ran a 5K in 26 minutes and 38 seconds. And that was my metaphor for how I want to live life. I don't want to have some measure. Whenever I reach the bar, I want to stretch higher. And that's what I want my students to do. I want them to see a bar, but I want it to be more about your character and who you are, not what you do. So success for me is about becoming a better person, a better who than a better what.